Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, a whole mess of sports covered. Now that we're out of the AFL and NRL seasons, we've got to delve into some other gear. We're looking at player props, game picks, best bets. There's about 7 rate my multis in this one too. But I'm talking some NBL and some NFL. Alex, what are you looking at?
I'm looking forward to reading out some NFL players' names and realising Tank Bigsby rules.
My favourite player. What about you, Stats Guy?
Some exciting Champions League goal scorers and a Europa League rate my multi.
Excellent. It's all coming up on today's Code Bet Daily. Check it out right now. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Wednesday, hump day. Doesn't really feel like much of a hump day. We took yesterday off.
Yes.
It
Didn't
is
do much on Monday either.
It's October 4, episode 207 of this here's Schmozzle. I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. It's called Code Bet in a surprise twist. You can find that at codebet.com.au, along with a whole range of odds comparison tools, analysis, all the good stuff. Joined, as always, by the Puntiffs. Got Alex Donnelly over there looking like a grizzled 1850s prospector.
Yep, it's great. I actually booked a flight into Thailand today, so I am expecting to get arrested as soon as I arrive.
Yeah, now you just turned into a sex tourist, which is much worse.
Have you been overseas? There's half the people there have mustaches.
This is just the holiday that I've got booked in. Actually booked the flight last night, so
nice.
Perfect timing because I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 6 months now that footy's over.
Yeah.
Wow. We also have the Stats Guy.
Absolutely. Very sad the footy's over. It's just, we're looking at all the content this week.
At least you've got basketball.
Got basketball, which is very
not
exciting,
much.
but yeah, and Champions League.
I think you should both stop your sooking. There's plenty of sports.
There is still plenty of sport, but I'm missing footy.
It's literally why we've got a daily show.
Yeah, true.
That's what it's all about.
Every other daily.
It is Code Bet Daily. It's what it says on the tin. It's codes. It's betting is daily. We have player props, game picks, best bets. Do we have a rate my multi today?
I've
I
got
got
one as well.
I threw one in.
Yeah.
We've got a couple. That's good. What am I going to look at today is a question I should ask myself. NBL and NFL.
Oh,
That's it.
shock.
I love it. This is great. Basketball and American football. Off we go. Stats Guy, what are you looking at?
Bit of Champions League continues in the morning, NBL round 2, and the Europa League as well, which continues on Friday morning.
Good stuff. Alex?
Sticking to the Champions League.
Okay.
Nice.
Stick with what you know, he says. It's time for player props. It is time for player props. Me, NFL Friday. But Jim, it's only Wednesday. Yep, well, I'm struggling. So, Brian Robinson, 3 touchdowns so far this season, Stats Guy.
Yep.
I don't know, Brian Robinson, he got shot in the leg.
Did he?
Like, start before last season.
I didn't know that.
Dude turns around and is actually like a weapon himself
Jeez.
now.
Maybe everyone
It's kinda
should
neat.
try that out.
Well, we'll shoot you first in the leg and see
I'll
how
give
that
it a
works.
go.
Hold on.
Yeah, quick.
All right, Leo, pass me the gun.
Wouldn't be surprised if you have a gun.
But
Whoa! The hell, man?
it's intense. The tricky part is, so
These
NFL...
guns.
You're welcome to the gun show, he says.
Okay. Too many dad jokes.
Brian Robinson. Not only does he shoot him, well,
It's a
get shot.
terrible name.
It is a very, very,
Boring.
very Brian-y kind of name,
It's
right?
very generic, somewhere from
Probably,
Alabama.
is he a junior or something?
No, I'm
gonna look this up, bro.
He is actually a junior, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Good old Brian.
Because
Yeah,
Brian
he is.
sounds
Brian
like an older
Robinson
name,
Jr.
yeah.
Point being, the Washington...
He's from Alabama. Alabama. Yes.
You got it.
So the Commies play the Chicago Bears on Friday morning, our time. This game is going to stink, but Brian Robinson should run right over the top of the Chicago defense that just gave up a whole mess of points to Denver, have lost 17 straight games, or is it 12 straight? 14 straight. It's a lot of straight games that Chicago have lost. Hilariously enough, the last game that they did win was against my beloved Patriots, who stink. And Brian Robinson, though, 60 yards anytime touchdown, $2.35. He's going to run rampant over this Chicago defense. He's topped 60 yards only twice on the ground so far this season, but Chicago are bottom 3 against the rush, so he's going to get in. So wouldn't surprise me if he gets in for 2. He scored 2 against Denver as well at home, I think. No, that was at Denver when Washington played. But he's already had a multiple touchdown game. He could probably do it again against Chicago. Don't mind that as well. The other bet for that game for the player prop, Justin Fields. Chicago stink. Wasn't his fault this week. Until the very end when it wasn't. He threw that interception.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna
still,
say,
it was
he was-
awesome in the first half. Anytime touchdown for Juzzy Fields, just to run one in. And over 46.5 rushing yards. Thank you very much. $3.53.
Wow. Just for those two.
It's because you have these moments where the Chicago offense just breaks down and Justin Fields goes, oh, God, I'll have to run him myself. And that's what he does. His rushing so far, he's had 25, 47, and 59. So if you want to go 46.5, He's done it twice already. Let's go, Juzzy Fields. This game is going to stink, I reckon, but
You're really pumped up about it.
But there should be a couple of really good
betting value.
But there are some good like looks for the betting stuff. DJ Moore had a really good, basically his best game as a Bear as well. But I just don't see Chicago keeping up. Anyway, player prop Alex.
Yeah, having a look at Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle going head-to-head tomorrow in the Champions League. Interesting one. Newcastle have scored 13 consecutive goals across all competitions.
As in, they haven't conceded any?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like
that's crazy.
Yeah, so they were down 3-0 to Brighton.
Yeah.
And then they scored.
Yeah.
And since that goal, another 12 in a row against
crazy.
everyone else. And that includes Manchester City last week, who they beat 1-0. Anyway, looking at two players to score in this game, I'll start off with one for PSG. Quite obvious. Kylian Mbappe. $2.15 to score anytime. He's got 13 goals in 8 games this season.
Not bad for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, right. Including one in the first Champions League game 2 weeks ago. And then for Newcastle, Alexander Isak. He has 5 goals in 8 games this year, including the winning goal last week against City. This is Newcastle's first home game in the Champions League in 20 years. So Newcastle's going to be up and about. This is actually going to be a pretty sick atmosphere. Stats guy might actually wake up for it. So
Wow.
I actually might. This is probably the game that I was most
where
looking
did you
forward
find
to.
262? I'll take that price too.
Yeah, what was yours actually?
215.
215. Well, we're going to bump it up to 262 now for
Stats
Ishak.
guy.
On Best 365. So jump on that. Best 365 always
Don't
have
go to Ladbrokes for this
slightly
one.
better goal scoring markets, I've decided. He scored in the last 3 Newcastle games. Some people are calling him the Swedish Haaland at the moment, the way he's scoring goals every single game, his size and his pace. It's very rare to find that sort of player. Alex doesn't like that comparison. I know he's nowhere near as good as Haaland, but he plays
No, but
exactly
he's also very like he's a slender man.
Yeah.
Haaland's
But he's
freaking
just like
Terminator.
tall. He can threaten you with the head or in the box scoring. Either feet as well. So I think $2.62 is great value there. Then looking at the other game, Barcelona, João Felix. It's been absolutely awesome. It's tearing me apart that Chelsea couldn't keep him when we had him on loan.
It was going to cost you $100 million.
It was going to cost us a lot. We've already spent $1 billion, so fair enough. But
Yeah, apparently you're asking someone in America for a loan now for $500 million, which is pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah.
even though we've already spent a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's like isn't Todd worth like $5 billion? Why do you need $500 million?
It's just in the mud.
You've got $200,000. You can help someone out.
I wish. I've already given that to
Who
Club
doesn't
Bruges.
need just like an extra bit of, $500 million cash?
I gave the 200K to Club Bruges just to help them get going. So, but João Felix, anytime goal, he's really good value. $3.25. He scored 2 in their opening Champions League game last week, and I think he's just a bit better value than Lewandowski up front. Lewandowski's only paying $2. He likes to pass it off a lot of the time anyway, so $3.25 is good value there.
Nice one. Good one. Let's do some game picks.
What's your best match or game pick?
What is
to
your
go to
best
Club
match
Bruges.
and or game pick? NBL. This might pop off in tomorrow's newspaper. The Friday games. I'm going to cover off. Are you going to talk about the Thursday game stats?
Yeah.
How about you
Do you
go
want me to
first,
start? Yeah.
and then I'll do the Friday.
All right,
This is
cool.
easy.
So the first game is New Zealand Breakers taking on the Brisbane Bullets. Both got off to winning starts in round 1. The Breakers won over the Taipans, who were pretty strong last year, and the Bullets, everyone's going to beat the 36ers this year. So I'm not taking that win too seriously.
Rocco played his first NBL minutes, came on.
It was
looked
pretty
like
cool, yeah.
a 7'3" Gumby, and then had the sickest putback done for his first NBL
ever.
points you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gnarly.
Like I said in the
this
season-
guy's huge, terrifying, and he just the putback dunk, he got it 2 feet below the rim.
Yeah.
And just went.
He's already up there. If you're 7'3".
Kadoosh.
It was pretty cool.
It's like watching one of those old medieval catapults, like a trebuchet, like those ones that you see them launching watermelons. So
Just bang.
It's that was sick. Anyway, continue, please.
Like I said in the season preview, I think the Bullets will be really exciting to watch with the likes of Rocco. You got Big Banger Baines, but I don't think they're going to be winning too many games. So I really like the New Zealand Breakers here. The line's only 5.5. We mentioned some of these heavy favourites, the lines aren't too big. So you got Breakers $1.40, Bullets $3. That's pretty heavy favourite, and the line's only minus 5.5. They swept the series last year, so 3-0 against the Bullets last year. Peter Jackson Cartwright, who I loved in the NBL Blitz in the preseason.
Peter Jackson Cartwright.
He had 25 points, 8 assists, and 6 steals last game. So get him in your NBL Supercoach if you can. I'm not sure.
Steals are weighted as well.
Steals are worth a lot, so I might have to try and fit him in my team. But yeah, them at the minus 5.5. I think they're the clear
Especially
best.
at home. They're going to kill
Especially
it.
at home. They had the number 1 defense last year, so I'm going to take them minus 5.5 at $1.85. Then the other Thursday game is the Cairns Taipans taking on my Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
It's a terrible name.
Too long of a name.
Southeast Melbourne Magic Phoenix.
Yeah. It's
That's
making it
better.
even longer.
They rule.
The Magic Phoenix.
Yeah, but it's just whatever.
it's not
Storm
good.
the Phoenix.
Yeah. The Phoenix are favourites in this one, only just. The Taipans struggled against the Breakers in their week 1 loss. Phoenix had a double in week 1, went 1-1. They did beat the Wildcats, which I was really surprised about, but that was at home.
The Wildcats.
Who are we gonna beat?
The Wildcats.
Yeah, nice. I didn't think about that one. But as Adam and a few of us in the office have mentioned, they just rely on Mitch Creek's offense too much, and especially at the clutch of games. Once Mitch Creek was really bad in their game 1, they only scored 67 points in total. So really go on the under for starters in this one, 179.5, $1.95 there. But then I'm also going to take Cairns plus 2.5. Phoenix really struggle on the road, lost 6 of their last 7. So on the road, so yeah, not trusting him at all. I'm going to go Cairns plus 2.5 just to be safe. I think it's going to be really close. I think even Cairns could win at $2.20ish. So $1.87 for the plus 2.5.
I'm all about Cody Statman. So
yeah,
it's a lovely player.
he hasn't got any minutes yet, but we need to get that jersey.
Yeah, we do.
Righto. I've got the Friday games then, and we are talking Tassie Jack Jumpers versus the Sydney Kings. That's a 2022 grand final rematch.
This will be a good game, yeah.
Paying attention, how good was that one? 22 grand final.
How much do you care?
That 22 grand final was wicked fun, that series.
That was. I was going for
were like gnarly. It's 3 games, and you're like, let's go. Thing is, Kings, big win in week 1 over Illawarra in the Freeway series.
Yeah, with the worst name ever.
Whereas Tassie went out west. Way out west, you lost to Perth. And 95-101. Weird one, because like Sydney don't mind going to Tassie. They've won, I think, it's like they've covered the line, I think, the last 3 times they've played in Hobart. So Sydney are like, yep, this is fine. They've won 6 the last 7, I think, between the two. So
really?
Sydney just like, nah, we're fine against Tassie. We've got too much scoring. They can't keep up. Obviously, you don't have Xavier Cooks or DJ, but they do have Jalen Adams. It's like, we lost our 2023 MVP.
Just get another one, yeah.
We'll get our 22 MVP back.
Yeah.
And it's just chaos. He was awesome week 1, 23-3. Kuat Noy had 23-4-4 as well. So I just don't see the Jack Jumpers, even at home, down there in Hobart, quite keeping up with the offense of the Kings.
Agreed.
Like the way they will is like if just everybody's hitting threes, that's what Tassie do better than just about anybody, right? They sort of get on a bit of a roll, turns into an avalanche. Like
Few corner threes.
The points, the point of attack just sort of comes from everywhere, and you're like, oh man, a triple again. God damn it! But Sydney are just solid. Yeah, across the board. I think they win this one. I think we'll see the points go over 175.5, but I think Sydney cover the line -1.5. Then the second game, Perth, Adelaide. Stats guy talked about the woes of the Sixers. They stink.
They are
They
horrible.
stink.
This line should be like
CJ's
50.
just like, what am I doing? This is horrible. Flowers is bad.
New recruit, he's not ready yet.
It doesn't know how to use Mitch McCarron. It's just a bit of a mess. Perth are $1.17.
That's pretty short.
It's pretty short, $5 for week 2.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man. The thing is, I'm still going to go the under. Perth have gone over 18 of its last 21. But that's how inept Adelaide are at the moment. And Perth's defense hasn't been great, but I think this is the game where you go, we'll just give it a little bit of a clamp. Only 2 of the last 4 between these two has gone over this 181.5 mark. Let's go the under. And look, Perth, 10.5 point favourites. It's a big margin, but they did beat them back in January by 15. So I'm going to go the 10.5 for Perth. That's $1.95 actually as well, because I have seen that elsewhere for -9.5. I think with 365, it was -10.5. You actually get a little bit extra value on the end. I think they smashed them anyway. So
Nice.
There you go. A couple of big NBL games. That's 8 teams we've just talked about for 2 nights. It's pretty good. What about you there, Alex?
Yeah, having a look at the Champions League, you got a bunch of games tomorrow morning. So just start off with a couple of head-to-heads here. Barcelona to take care of Porto in their matchup. Barcelona have started off the season really well in La Liga.
That's a great food matchup as well.
Yeah.
Barcelona versus Porto.
Ooh.
Porto, they love their Portuguese tarts.
Yeah.
Yep.
They also do the frankensinhas, native to Porto, which is the world's greatest sandwich. Google,
You were talking about that
I
on
mean, I
our
like a
live stream,
sandwich.
actually.
Google the sandwich.
Yeah.
The frankensinha.
Yeah.
Is that on one of your lists?
Well, it's going to have to be now. I'm going to have to go to Porto. I already want to go to Lisbon. Now I'm
big
going to
food
Porto
lists.
as well.
But I mean, Barcelona
I was
has
about to say my food list at the moment is like Bangkok, Phuket, Hoi An, and Ho Chi Minh. So I gotta wait till I get over to
banh mi's
Europe.
in there.
Yeah.
nice one. But Barcelona as well, great food city. So
Yeah.
Anywho,
So there we go. So just by pure
this
virtue
is
of food.
Code Food Daily.
Honestly,
Alright.
we could have a food.
Tell you
food
what, I
podcast.
can talk about the sandwiches I've eaten recently. So Barcelona beat Porto anyway. And Atletico Madrid take on Feyenoord as well. We see that they're currently 4th in the Dutch league. and they've won 5 on the trot, and they've scored 26 goals and 6 conceded. But as we've seen, PSV, who are unbeaten in the same league, got smashed by Arsenal on the first day, and then they drew 2-2 this morning with Sevilla.
Interesting.
Yeah, not good enough. Atletico are going to absolutely smoke them. And then to finish off, Man City to beat RB Leipzig. If you want to throw these 3 together. Those 3 head-to-head, I'll dig in more about the stats of the Man City one in my best bet, but those 3 head-to-head, $5.34.
Ooh.
I thought it'd be way shorter.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad, right?
I'll give that a
Yeah.
9.
So that's head-to-head for Barcelona as well. Head-to-head, all head-to-head.
Yeah. Straight up winning the 90 minutes.
Feyenoord,
34.
there could be the sneaky one, but that league's nowhere near as good as the
Atletico,
Spanish league.
they're 4th at the moment. They've won 3 on the bounce coming into this.
All right, I'll take that. 9.5.
I'll pay that. I'll give that an 8.5.
Nice.
I do slightly worry about the Barcelona-Porto one where Porto just pull out.
Porto
like a
are
random
randomly
draw.
good in the Champions, or in the past they were.
Yeah,
not-
but it's just that
Much lower league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that this morning with Arsenal getting rolled by Lens. So.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And
We didn't talk about that,
Oh,
Galatasaray.
did Arsenal lose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Oh, Arsenal lost.
And United
Who'd
lost.
they lose to?
Lens.
Lens. Who? Lens. Who are Lens? Oh, are they a really bad team that Arsenal lost to?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. How did they? How did Arsenal lose? Please regale us with the story about how Arsenal lost to Lens.
2
choked.
worldy finishes rolled us.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Better news, Manchester United lost again at home.
I like Arsenalism more. Just
But
because
Arsenal
I'm sitting
lost,
next to you.
right? So, geez, you hate to see it.
Thanks, Eric Ten Hag, for continuing to suck.
It's best bets.
That
It's
helps
time
me.
for all the best bets.
It is time for all the best bets. NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How is CJ Stroud only $3 still? Get on him right now.
I was like, I don't know
ASAMP.
how to-
$3.
$3.
CJ Stroud.
.com.au.
He's already setting records for like the most 300-yard games to start off an NFL season.
Wow.
The bloke is going absolutely chaos. Houston have already won 2 games. I expect,
$2.75 now I just found.
well, it was $3 literally like
On our site,
25 minutes
Okay,
ago.
well, one I'm looking at, yeah.
So CJ has been...
Divert paycheck.
I think the best part about CJ is he's looked incredible. And we talked about this out on NFL Australia. The way he looks,
There are some terrible names in this list.
of course there are.
Like just actual names. I don't know like if they're any good.
'cause you're
or
a
not.
hater, but
But
that's-
no, but the names like Bijan Robinson.
Bijan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that one. either.
This is the new segment. Alex
guess another one,
pronounces
guess another
NFL names.
Like Cock and Arcus.
Continue, please.
Well, you've got Devin Archinay.
Achane? No, Achane.
Achan.
Achan.
There's no I in there.
Achan.
What is this
Well,
list?
so actually it was weird. So watching Kevin Harlan try to pronounce Devin Achan's name week 1, he's like the backup running back for Miami.
Yeah.
He scored
He's tried
like
good.
3 or 4 touchdowns
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. And it's like, and he was saying A-Chain. And I'm like, all right, is it A-Chain? And then it came out during the week. He's like, no, it's a Chan.
Yeah.
So.
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua.
What a name.
Talk about blokes setting records.
Yeah.
He's setting rookie records for most receptions, and he finally got a walk-off touchdown this week in the Rams against Indy, which was
Record for
incredible.
best name as well.
And I just can't trust the dude whose name is Jackson. Jaxon.
Jackson Smith and Digba.
Yeah.
You didn't even try to say the rest of his name.
That is dangerous to say that. Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
What do you? How?
whoa. That's
I think you just heard that stats
Yeah,
guy.
you did.
I'm telling you, I'm here.
These guys are haters.
Stats guy's ears are racist.
And Jamar Gibbs.
That's not
Weird
what I
spelling,
meant.
not traditional spelling of Jamar.
Jamar, J-A-H-M-Y-R.
No, it's Jameer, isn't it?
Yeah. Jameer Grib.
Oh, Jameer. Even worse.
This has been, Alex pronounces NFL now.
Tajay Spears.
Tajir?
Tank Bigsby's the best one.
Oh, that is
Tank
sick.
Bigsby at 200
He's
to
talked about
1.
this
You
earlier.
might have remembered
Yes.
preseason
Yeah.
Tank Bigsby.
Tank Bigsby.
is
I'm like-
100% my favorite NFL
That
player
is
this
the
year.
best
Deuce
name in
Vaughn. There you
Deuce
go.
Vaughn is a good one.
Yeah, I found 2 good ones to finish
Tank
up on.
Bigsby, that's
Tank
awesome.
Bigsby
But
rules.
CJ Stroud, the Houston Texans
Back to the
have
deck.
already won 2 games. He's looked incredible. And he's just like
I
ripping
love
off
Tank Bigsby.
these amazing games. At $3, he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because what they do,
He plays for Jacksonville.
you tend to give it to a running back who's just like solid or has like a wide receiver has like an amazing year like last year. Because none of the rookie QBs really
Usually
have
yeah.
those awesome first years. CJ's already on a winner for $3. I'm already over it. Defensive Player of the Year, I'd almost go keep an eye on Will Anderson as well. Not the comedian, the horrible comedian.
I was about to say, a lot of people kept an eye on him. He did get arrested that
He's
one time in
very
Wagga.
sus, I'll tell you. He's got sus hair. Anyway, Defensive Rookie of the Year for Will Anderson as well. There'll be other big names that pop off in the intersetting weeks because it's like almost week by week people flip out about defensive rookies. This week it was Witherspoon for Seattle because he literally played on primetime Monday Night Football.
Right.
had a 97-yard return touchdown, pick six rather. And Will Anderson is going to be solid, and Houston will be awesome. So keep an eye on him. But MVP, I talked about this last week, right? Just Mahomes. Like everybody else is going to go like this. This week, Josh Allen is the favorite again. It's ridiculous. Like Josh Allen is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Love the Buffalo Bills. He was fantastic this week. He beat Tua. They don't play at the same time, of course, but Tua Tagovailoa was favorite last week after they put up 70 on Denver. Now Josh Allen beat Tua. Now he's the favorite. Mahomes is just cruising along, looking okay.
They're winning.
We're going to get to the end of the season. Like KC will be like, I don't know, 13-4. And you go, well, Mahomes is the MVP again, right? And he's like $6.20 now. So Mahomes, I'd be just keeping an eye on him. Also another one to keep an eye on. Jalen Hurts, he's already at $7.50 though. It's because Philly are 4-0. They have 3 pretty tough games in like the next 6 weeks. Outside of those 3 games, they could be 14-3 by the time the season finishes.
Wow.
And Jalen Hurts could easily roll through like the rest of this and like get better as the season goes on as well, which is the same with Mahomes, right? Mahomes has been pretty scrappy these first couple of the first
he can only
month.
get better, yeah.
Thing is, no one cares what he did week 1 through 4. They care about like what just happened. Oh my God, KC are like absolutely rolling teams and crushing them, and he's the best player in football. Jalen Hurts could be the same thing. He could just end up with like a huge array of rushing touchdowns by the end of the season, win MVP. And the one you might remember from the start of the season, Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Just saying. He had 4 touchdowns this weekend. 4! He scored more touchdowns in this season than like half the teams in the NFL. He's scored in 13 straight games. That is absolute chaos. He's scoring more touchdowns than my beloved Patriots. By
my beloved Titans.
Horrifyingly large amounts. But anyway, he's still $3 for Offensive Player of the Year. I'd be getting on him and CJ Stroud. He's also $19 for MVP.
I'm just happy that Amon-Ra St. Brown is on track to get the 1,500.
He is. He's rolling.
He's
I love
on track.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah. 331, baby.
But McCaffrey, $19 for MVP. Pretty interesting. No running back's going to win it, though. $3 for Offensive Player of the Year. Lock that in right now. Yeah. Alex.
I'm just more taken that Tank Bigsby's first name is Katavius.
Yeah, Contavious.
Contavious.
Contavious. Yeah.
Contavious.
There's a few NBA players that have that name.
That just rules. He's now my favorite player.
You should be a Jags fan. Like,
I know, but
he's already bought a hat.
I got the Titans hat.
And you've got a mustache. You basically look like you're like running from the law and you live in Jacksonville.
And the thing is,
and you jump in that STD pool down there at the Jacksonville Stadium week
I've
in,
already
week
given
out.
Tony Khan a lot of my money by buying AEW wrestling pay-per-views, so I mean, I probably should.
It was the good place, right, where they had the guys like Bortles, and he was like a massive Jags fan. That's basically you.
Just go for the Jacksonville Titans and then call it even.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a division rival too.
Anyway, looking at the Champions League, we talked about this Man City game against who they're playing Leipzig tomorrow morning. So I got a same game multi with Manchester City to get the job done. Erling Haaland to score 2 or more goals in the game, and there to be over 3.5 goals in the game. $10.73. Now, before you hit the button, Haaland coming off a weekend where he got absolutely owned against Wolves. It was honestly tagging in a football game. It was insane. Was nowhere to be found when it mattered, and they got beaten 2-1. He scored 5 goals against Leipzig last year.
That's right, yeah.
And let's note that Manchester City do play Arsenal this weekend, so they want some serious momentum heading into that game at the Emirates Stadium. That multi comes in at $10.73.
Break my multi.
The 2+ for Haaland is always going to be tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's
but
$5 on its own.
you got
if you
some
want to
stats
take
to
that.
back it up.
The fact that he scored 5 against him and he's coming off a shutout game and he's just like, no.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see. I think he'll definitely score 1 because you very rarely see him not scoring 2 games in a row. But the 2,
Remember that there was that whole chat before the start of the season, he hasn't scored in 5 competitive games. And then someone's like, yeah, but like one of them mattered and they won 1-0 in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
True.
not bad.
I think the 2+ is a bit tough. I'd rather take the 2+ by itself, have him just as any time, and even if that lands at like
$4
$4 or $5, I'd be happy with that, I think.
I'll give it a 7 because I don't mind it.
All right, Stats Man.
That's man.
He hasn't graduated yet.
How do I graduate?
I just bought him the jersey.
What is the process?
I just bought him the jersey.
We give him the robe and the hat and we got to get the doily over to the other side, have a full-on ceremony.
Nice.
Like on Survivor with the fire sticks as well. You're now
We've gone from
I'm pretty sure
beauty
you're not allowed to have
Survivor.
fire in this studio. I'm just saying.
Leo.
That's like the last straw.
We did have
Gerald?
a fire evacuation
Yeah,
thing
it
today.
stops stats man from hearing stuff.
What?
What?
All right, I'm going the Europa League,
What?
the lesser European league, as some people call it. Starts back
Hey, you've still
again.
got the conference leg to go, pal.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Conference League actually. Starting with a multi on Friday morning. SC Freiburg take on West Ham. I'm going to go West Ham head to head. They're the underdogs in this match, which I was really surprised about.
Freiburg going this year?
Freiburg, they've been pretty strong, but they're not in a higher league as West Ham. West Ham have been going really well in the Premier League. They're winners of their last 8 matches.
From the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I don't know how Freiburg are favourites in this one, so I'm going to take West Ham head-to-head. They've got that really strong midfield that's been killing it in the Prem. Then I'm going to go Real Betis head-to-head against Sparta Prague. Betis have won, undefeated in their last 5 home matches. Well-structured defence. They lost their first Europa League game, but I think they're going to bounce back at home here. Then we're going Molde. I'm actually not sure how you say it. Molde. Taking on Bayer Leverkusen. I'm going to go Leverkusen head-to-head. They've been absolutely awesome. They're first in the Bundesliga.
That is such a good name, though. Mold.
Molde. Yeah, that's what I didn't want to say. Is it just Molde?
There's some great names in the Europa League.
There is.
They've been
Leverkusen.
killing it in the Bundesliga, Leverkusen.
Yeah, they're first, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
They've got in Granit Xhaka and he's just turned into like a freak.
You've got a Harry Kane built Bayern that aren't even first, which
It's
is
going to be
unbelievable.
so funny if Bayern don't win the title this year.
Because,
As soon as
Harry Kane has won
goes
the
there, it's
trophy,
like,
I can't believe I went to Germany and I still couldn't win the title.
Did you
That actually sounds
Did you
exactly
see the photo of him at Oktoberfest?
Yes.
I can also say definitely not.
I was about to say, I've never
yeah.
seen a guy more likely to not drink a beer in his life.
can't
Gerald,
have
if
any
you can
of these
find
beers.
it, please flash it up on the screen.
I can't have any beers. Oh, no,
Anyway,
Harry Kane.
Leverkusen, they won 4-0 in their opening Europa League match. They've won 10 of their last 11 games, so go them head to head. Then I'm going to go Liverpool -1 against Union St. Gilloise. The Reds have won their last 6 home games.
Surprised I didn't call it Galois.
Well, I know for a fact it's Gilloise, but because I've read them out before. I think I've backed against them a lot of times before. Reds are more experienced in this one, and especially at Anfield, it's hard to play. So I'm going to go West Ham head-to-head, Real Betis head-to-head, Bayer Leverkusen head-to-head, Liverpool -1, and that gives me a 4-leg rate my multi.
We didn't mention how angry Liverpool are going to be after they literally got screwed last week.
Yeah, they got screwed by VAR, and that was
referees.
horrible. Anyway, that 4-leg multi is $10. So
It's not bad. West Ham head-to-head.
Yep.
Real Betis head-to-head over
Yeah, they're good in
This
Spain.
is Sparta! Prague.
Can we go to Prague, that 5-story dance floor again?
You can do whatever
That'd be
you want.
great.
Leverkusen head-to-head.
Then we go to Club
Liverpool.
Brugge.
I actually really like this.
All right. I was really happy.
$10.
$10 like exactly as well. It's nice.
I'll give that a 9.
Ooh.
I'm really on board with that.
8.73.
All right.
Okay.
On your rate my multi meter.
Yeah.
Okay, good
I'll take that. That's the highest you've given me ever.
I gave you like a 10 last week.
I can't remember.
stuff. All right, there you go. That's it. Code Red Daily done for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow. No, we will have an EPL show that'll be doubling as the Daily Show
Yeah.
tomorrow, I believe.
Cool.
Then we'll be back on Friday with the 3 of us. The EPL show will be you two and Marcos. But that's it. So subscribe across to all your podcast apps to the Code Red Daily Show, NBA Australia, NFL Australia, hold all tickets. You can, if you want to go back and like relive the magic of the AFL and NRL seasons, go subscribe to those as well. But like, review, and star them all. And check us a follow for CodeBet across all the socials. We have Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Threads. Send in any questions via the socials. I believe that is it. Nothing else, gentlemen.
No.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Or Stats Man. And thank you, Alex.
Cheers.
Really not going to bail you out once you're stopped from going into Thailand.
What about
Thanks.
Vietnam?
That should be okay.
It's got
Don't
connections
mention the
there.
war.
Don't mention the war. Thanks to Gerald, as always, for producing, and thanks to me.
Thanks to Homie for taking photos of us. That felt kind of weird.
Thanks to Homie for just clicking away in the background.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not annoying. I'm definitely not going to like throw him out a window. It's all right.
You've got that meeting in 5 minutes with him too.
I do, actually.
You got to punch on.
He might actually.
Yeah.
Homie's going to kick your ass.
He's definitely throwing me out a window.
Meeting. Boxing match.
What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in happy bunting. We will catch you in a bit. Go Bet Daily out.
What's gambling really costing you?
For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.